Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today's prompt is number 13, mirrored. So I can't really come up with much that connects that prompt with what I'm doing with my building a journal for a potential holiday in the future in Japan. Hence the theme is Japan. So what I'm going to do is an idea that I had in a previous video, in the dyed video. And sort of flesh it out a little bit and try and create an element that I think I will be able to use. So the plan is, when I was creating the dyed piece, and I still haven't stitched it, it's pretty much where I left it, I used this piece of calico to build the background, and I did a couple rows, and I'm yet to sort of finish that off, and that's going to be in the journal ready just to grab and embellish if I so choose. If I don't, doesn't matter, it still looks great. So in that video, I tore an additional 4 pieces that are ready for something. So I'm thinking if I'm sitting on a cruise liner or on a train, I've got something I can sort of, grab and use. So I want to make a fabric flip to hold it into position. So I had a few ideas, and I pulled out of my stash this pack of craft place cards. I got them from Officeworks in Australia, so just a stationery place will probably have them. Paper Mill, I think, is everywhere. Oh no, made in China, an Australian company, so maybe not everywhere, but you could easily create this by folding a piece of craft paper in half, so it's not a big issue. But I'm going to use one of those. I actually grabbed a second one out and threw it in my little pile of could be handy in the journal pile, yet to be decorated. I then decided I was going to use denim to cover it. Now, I can use some of my nice fabrics, but I decided to use this as my base because it is quite a big area and I didn't want to waste some of my pretty fabrics on it. Now, I've gone ahead and done that because I used the glue stick and then just stuck it straight down on the denim. I've let it dry, and that's allowed me then to cut it out and fold it in half. So I have scooted forward a little bit because I didn't think you'd need to see that. Because the next thing is how I'm going to create something that can hold this fabric. So I found a bull clip in my jewelry containers, and I believe it is a Tim Holtz bull clip. So if you did want to look for them, I don't know how long I've had it. I think I've got them quite a few years ago. So whether they're still out there, they may be or may not. So I do apologise, but I'm sure there's little bull clips around that you could use. So the theory is I will use this on here with the bull clip to hold my fabric flip in place. So I can move it. It's not permanent. And now I just want to decorate this side because the other side could be used for anything. So in my travels, I might put postcards and slide a few postcards in here. I might use it for a menu from a restaurant and just slide it up there. So what I'm thinking of doing on this side is I went looking in my needle book for a pack of needles because I thought I'd better put some needles in. I have made a note of it in my must pack little list. So I went to my needle book and I was thinking about attaching, a pack of needles, which is probably a bit overkill. And they will need to be the right needles. So, I will need to go hunting for a set that is perfect for what I'm actually doing on this project. So in the process, this came out the pocket. Now what it is, it's a business card that Lisa Maddock sent me when I purchased some fabrics from her. No, it wasn't fabrics. It was a pattern called Alfred. So this was with the parcel. And on the back, no, it wasn't Alfred. That was a PDF file. So I'm getting sidetracked here. It was a PDF file of a heap of birds that you can stitch from Lisa. And I've used the pattern in some of my work in previous videos. I believe I've reviewed the pattern as well, so if you were interested to see what Alfred the pattern is all about from Lisa Mattock, she is helping out with the Roxy Journal of Stitchery project that's going on over on Roxy Creations. She has made up some fantastic packs of fabric in her store. She's Sydney based, that you can purchase for the stitchery. Okay, focus back on. I think what I got from Lisa was a kit to make a little bag, slow stitching, all sorts of textiles to it, and then there was a rabbit on it with some flowers to be embroidered. So it was like an little Easter bag. I haven't made it yet. I must get it out and do it. Anyway, this was with the kit. So it gave me the idea that I'm going to remove the staple from this little blue piece of felt or wool. Pop that in the bin. And I'm going to keep a business card. I'll leave it there if you're interested in looking her up. That's the details there. So I'm thinking of attaching this to here, and then my needles can go in it. So my little flip will hold my needles. Then I've got a piece of scrap fabric that I thought maybe I can use to decorate it, to hold it all into position, maybe pop a few little stitches through there. And the other idea I had is I've had arrived from Amazon one of these. It is a stamp rolling pad. Now it has a lot of characters. It has 14 characters, which means you can write something up to 14 letters. So I thought, what a perfect opportunity to get this big bad boy out. And I've sat here for half an hour and I've got the words "Get Stitching" here. I've got my archival ink. I've done some test runs and stamped the fabric until I was happy that I had all of the letters all lined up and spelt correctly. So what I'm going to do is stamp it onto this and then stitch this down onto that, or maybe a bit of glue, so that it'll all be attached. And then I can slide into this little piece of wool some needles for any stitching that I do. So it's going to carry my needles. Does that make sense? And it's also going to be removable by this clip. So that's what I'm doing. So first of all, let's stamp the words "Get Stitching" on this piece of fabric. So I'm just grabbing an ink space that it won't make a mess, and my ink. So we're going to make sure it's the right way and stamp it on my fabric. If it doesn't work, doesn't matter. You're not even in camera. I just looked up to my TV and you're not in camera. There we go. Get stitching. I did get a bit of ink on the side, but that's okay. Doesn't matter. All right. I wonder if I should pack this. That'd be handy to write things and make labels, and I can just hear my husband groaning that I'm now packing too much stuff in my suitcase again. So I'm just going to collage this a little bit with maybe some snippets of fabric. What have we got here? That's pretty. So I'm just snipping. Oh, you're not even in view. Goodness me. I just grab this little piece of fabric and get get that out of the way, bring this over. I'm just going to use this just to put a pop of something. I want to cover that little bit of ink. Yeah, I'm loving that. So I'm just going to grab a needle and thread, and before I apply glue, I just want to stitch all of these components together. I must clean up my desk. I did a couple videos in a row and my desk has exploded with this project. Now it's hard to find anything, so I probably should have dealt with that. I might pop a pin in. Can't even find my pins. There they are. Just catch that and that together. So I'm collaging these pieces together, and I'm just going to pop a few little invisible stitches in there just to hold it. Then I might get the nice white thread that I've been doing random stitches with, pop a few of them in just to decorate this snippet up. But let's first of all secure it. That way if the glue gives way anywhere, it's all one piece and it won't go anywhere. I'm sure it'll be fine, but just in case, I'm just going to put a few little invisible stitches where you just come up, drop a stitch in, and then at the back you can scoot to another position, and then just a tiny itty bitty stitch this side. That's it. And back down here. I do like that stamp. Someone used it on a video. It might have been Rachael. I'm not sure who it was. And it's brilliant because it gives you more lines. I've got one of those packs that you get from Alibaba, or what was it? AliExpress, where it's lots of letters and you build up your word using your letters and you click them all together. And I use that on the back of all my Anne Brooks 52 tags to write the prompt for each week. And it was actually a bit of a pain in the neck to sort of build them all the time. You had to go hunting for the letters. Then I saw someone with this and I'm like, because then you had to break them all back down to write the next word. So it was just annoying. So when I saw that, I'm like, oh, 14 words or letters is actually pretty good. I think you can get bigger ones, but that was the one I chose. And it was on Amazon. So you should be able to find them. I'm just coming back along just to make sure that I've got enough little stitches to hold that into position. Okay. I probably should have taken the needles out and just setting myself up for a I did a practice on the back too of that piece just to make sure that it would work on that thick selvage edge. I like those selvages because I've got the nice straight edge at the top and the little furry bit at the bottom. So get stitching is done. Now I might just grab my bigger needle. Where are you? That one will do. And I'm going to pop in some white thread and just do a couple mark making stitches like I have throughout many of the little projects that I've created. So I'm just going to come up there and just drop in a couple little stitches. It'll look like the white thread or the white stitches is holding that onto the felt, which we know it isn't, but it is. There's a little bit more engineering in behind there than it looks, but those will look really cool there. Okay, might help stop that fraying if it decides to get a bit furry, having those few extra little stitches there. So I'll just keep going. So then I will glue this down on the denim. The other thing that I'm going to add to this little project is I want some bulb pins with me. So I've grabbed out a couple, and the other thing I'd like to have with me, which I probably won't need because I have not really seen beads in the Japanese culture. They might be there, and I'm sure they wear jewelry, and you know, it hasn't been something I googled, you know, Japan and beading. Maybe there's a whole industry of beading. There probably is. It's in most cultures. So I thought I might want a few little beads with me in my travel kit. So I thought some bulb pins attached to the bull clip might be a good idea. So I'm going to leave Lisa's needle there. That'd be great for beading. I've got a generic one. It's not too big. I'd probably get one more needle, which would be something along the lines of sort of like that, just so that I've got a little bit extra there. And the other thing I might add while I'm thinking about it is I might just pop a couple little pins in, because if I want to pin down some fabric, some red pins would be good. Oh, I know. Hang on. Hold the phone. I bought some pins from this brand. It's English. And they're like real old-fashioned, gorgeous things. Look at these. So let's add those to it. They're decorative and useful. So I'm going to I might pop them over here so I can see that they're actually in there. Like so. Actually, I'm going to glue this down. Look, I'm getting ahead of myself here. Hold up. Woo, woo, woo. Because that has to be glued there. Let's fold it. Yeah. I want to glue that down. And then that will flap. So I'm only really gluing along that top edge. So I'm going to use some craft glue. Hang on a minute. Just for a little extra, you know, grip. Just got to get my glue down to the tip. I'm going to glue just this top edge. I probably could have even stitched it on to the denim and then attach the denim. That would have been cool, but I didn't. Now I'm also going to add a little bit of art glitter glue in there as well, because if that does fray, it's going to catch it. Plus it glues really quickly everything down, so it'll sort of help grab it down quickly, and then the craft glue, the clear craft glue, can sort of do its job. So let's pop it there. Got a bit of excess glue. That's pretty good. Okay, So there we go. My little needle swatch is in position and sitting nicely. I have a little bit of needle stitching there already. I can now put some needles into it that may be of use in my travels. I will need to add one more, which would be better. A little bit longer shank with a good big eye for crocheting cotton. But that's okay, that'll happen. That one there is a good needle too. But that's good. And I want to add a couple pins as well, which I'm thinking I'm going to do down the side here. Oh, whoops. God, I'm flying everywhere here now. I don't need that many, I don't think. I should be waiting for this to dry. I'm tempting fate. So a couple nice long fine pins, which are perfect for tacking down things. I won't take a lot because at the end of the day I can use needle and thread. But I'll have 3 sitting in there. Let's push them down a little bit. Ready to go if I need them. Love that. I've got 3 needles. Wow, I will when I do the final pack. So they're in. So thank you, Lisa, for providing an idea that has turned into a spot. I like that red pin too, but anyway, we don't need it. Has turned into a, oops, let's get these pins away. Gee, they're fine. Okay. There's some glass head ones as well in the range. I could have used some little red ones. Oh, I'm going to pop a couple red ones in too. Why not? I might pop them up the top here. Why not? So this has actually become a pin cushion for me. How cool is that? I'll grab another red one. Some red little pins at the top. Oh, I love it. So now I've got 6 pins with me. I will have 3 needles. How to build a sewing journal for travel. That's what this video is turning into. There we go. Oop. Might be pushing on my luck here. Getting all these pins in, but I do love the little red pop there. Okay, all right, stop mucking around. All right, so we have now the piece of wool from Lisa's business card, a little snippet of my fabric. We've stamped some inspiration, like an order, a command, get stitching. And we've used some denim. Now, what we will do, let's get rid of that. Here is our 4 pieces of cut to size ready to be stitched on fabric. I might pop it on the inside, like so. That will go over there like that. And using my bull clip, it holds everything into position, and the bull clip can be moved according to how I sort of need it and gives me an opportunity to tuck something up there. So my last idea was these beads. This is a second bull clip that I definitely want to add to the pile to go in the journal, and these garment pins as well. So let's say I buy a little trinket from like a key ring, charm, who knows, even a little piece of jewelry. I wanted some of these garment pins with, so that I can use this to hold a charm or a memento. So I thought it's also, while I'm, you know, not knowing what I'm going to encounter, I thought it was a great way of taking some beads with me as well. So I've just gone through my container of miscellaneous beads here. There's all sorts in here, and picked out a few that I thought matched my theme. I've also added some of these calico coloured beads. I've gone for fairly big ones, not tiny seed beads, because I thought, you know, where does it stop? So I've gone for decent sized. I figured they could be the centre of a flower. They could be anything. So what I'm going to do then is now clip the bull clip onto there to hold the, we'll call it a pin cushion. And I've got some beads in tow as well. So the second bull clip, let's load it up with the beads. Whether we use this bull clip and make something like another one of these or something else, I don't know. So I'm just going to leave the bull clip ready with the garment pins and little beads on it. And we'll leave it at that, add it to the pile of goodies that we've made, and then when we're ready, we may find a home for it, or we might make another one of those. I have got put aside another one of these, so even if this just goes into the journal, actually, here's an idea. Let's slide that into there as an up tuck. So now I have a spare one that I can decorate in my travels. I have a bull clip as well that I'll put to one side, but I know I've got another one of those that can be added somewhere else. Okay, I'm happy with that. So there you go. We've created a pin cushion for a page within a journal. Nothing to do with the prompt mirrored, but it doesn't matter. I love it. I think that is going to be a fantastic addition, and it's got my sewing ready to go. The only thing I'm missing is some threads, so I'll have to have a think about what I'm going to do with carrying some threads. Okay, everyone, I will leave the video there, and I will see you tomorrow with the next one. Bye for now. Bye.